Hey everyone, it's Dr. Zubin Damania. Okay, a ton of people have sent me, everybody knows about this now, America's Frontline Doctors, their Supreme Court Steps White Coat Summit. And I watched the video and I read the transcript before it was all taken down. And people asked me what I think. And this is what I think. That's not science. That's political grandstanding. That is wearing a tribal badge of identity, which is, I believe that masks aren't necessary. I believe that hydroxychloroquine cures COVID-19, and that we should open everything up. And that's fundamentally what this cadre of doctors was saying in their different ways. So you have Dan Erickson, the Bakersfield doctor who we've done shows on. He was actually one of the most reasonable in the bunch because he spoke in very measured tones about what we know and don't know about this disease. But Stella Emmanuel, who is a Nigerian-trained doctor, sort of stole the show here in terms of anti-science. So the things that she said and the way she said them were so anti-scientific that it shouldn't surprise me, but it still does, that people believed a single word of it. So she's a minister who has said things in the past like, we're injecting alien DNA in people, homosexuality is an abomination, and that we're all going to suffer for that. And better yet, that endometriosis and other OB-GYN disorders like molar pregnancies are due to having sex with witches and demons in your dreams. So this is the expert that they've put out there in a white coat, and the public doesn't know the difference between her in a white coat and another woman scientist in a white coat who actually is an expert, who actually knows what they're talking about and uses the scientific method. And this confusion is important because what Stella Emmanuel was advocating is the use of hydroxychloroquine, vitamin or zinc, and azithromycin, saying if everybody got these things, she's treated 350 people and counting, not a single one has died, they had all kinds of comorbidities, we should all be doing this. Okay, that's not science until you show me your data, show me your trial design, show me the actual information and the outcomes, and then we'll look at it as data. Right now, it is you telling a story as part of a politically sponsored event with the Tea Party Patriots and Breitbart News covering it. So these are flags, and I don't care if you're liberal or conservative, there's disinformation on all sides. When you see it sponsored by that kind of organization of any political stripe, be scared that this is not going to be fully accurate information. We have conspiratorial thinking. She said they're going to try to kill her. They're going to nail her to a cross on this hill. You have cherry picking of data, ignoring all the evidence so far that has shown hydroxychloroquine has no effect. And we've done several episodes on hydroxychloroquine, pro and con, talking about the retracted studies, the studies that were done. So I'll link to those in the show notes. The bottom line is we don't have information that says that this is helpful, but taking it willy-nilly, ordering it from India, and the kind of things we're seeing in response to this video can be harmful because they can interact with medications, cause cardiac arrhythmias, all this other stuff. And so this is not just irresponsible, not just bad science, it's dangerous. There are ongoing trials for hydroxychloroquine in preventing COVID-19, and we've talked about that, the HEROES trial out of Duke and others. It's important that we get actual data. What bothers me the most about this particular video are two things. One is the anti-scientific political agenda. So it's really turning science into, I believe this because it is a badge of my tribal identity as a conservative. And that shouldn't be your badge as a tribal identity as a conservative. It should be the values of conservatism that you believe in, whether it's free markets, whatever it is, right? It shouldn't be fake science. The left is guilty of this as well, particularly with vaccines. They think it's all big pharma and corporations because, you know, the anti-corporation moral palette there. But the truth is, the second thing that really bothers me about this video, apart from the lives it might cost and the misdirected energy and the disinformation and the lack of critical thinking, is that it was censored, that it was pulled down, and you can't find it. Why would you do that if you're YouTube or Facebook or Twitter? Why would you do that? All you're going to do is reinforce what they're saying, which is there's a big conspiracy to silence them. Forget the fact that hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin are made by pharmaceutical companies. You don't think Pfizer would love to see a Z-Pack spread everywhere? And never mind the fact that they've released trial data that shows Dexamethasone, which is another cheap drug, is effective at preventing mortality in sick COVID patients. So there's a disconnect there. Well, why would they censor one but not the other? Forget all that. When YouTube pulls the clip, all they're doing is confirming the fears of people who are already emotionally invested in the message that Stella Emanuel is giving. They wear this as a tribal identity, as I am part of this tribe and I'm going to believe it. And it didn't help that Trump and his son retweeted it, because that stamps it with the tribal identity of I'm with this group. That is not science. And again, the left is guilty of this as well. And in this world right now where we're so divided, we need to think rationally and clearly and look at this stuff with open eyes. Don't censor it. Let it be out there, and then let people actually debunk it. If it's bad science, it will come out that it's bad science if we in the scientific community actually do our job. Sure, YouTube can put a link saying, hey, this looks like misinformation. Here's some real information about it. That's fine. It takes work on their part. It's much easier just to ban it. Terrible idea. So please don't do that. This is a country where freedom of speech is important. Heck, we allow anti-vaccine drivel all over the internet. So we should at least allow this nonsense to be viewed. All right? Please share this video with people who are sending you that clip and asking, what do you guys think about this? I'm a doctor. I care about the actual science. I don't really have a political dog in this fight. Don't listen to these guys. The science is still evolving. And by the way, all of them up there not wearing masks, okay, that's a political statement. It's not a scientific statement. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. All right, guys? And by the way, one last thing. I actually agree with some of the stuff they say. I think we have generated too much fear. I think we should reopen schools. I think that the economic devastation and the mental illness and the substance abuse and the social devastation from lockdowns needs to be factored in our decisions, okay? So I am not rubber stamp lefty saying that these guys are wrong. I'm just saying let's use reason and rational thought and critical thinking to look at it. All right, guys, I love you. We out.